Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Fairy Tales with Uncle Al. Once upon a time, in a land that's not here, not there, just someplace else, lived a little lady. They called her Cinderella, a name that ain't exactly flattering if you ask me. It's derived from the habit of sleeping in the cinders, you see. Not exactly the Hyatt Regency, is it? Cinderella lived with her wicked stepmother and two equally unlovable stepsisters. They treated our girl like a glorified maid. The cooking, the cleaning, the sewing, you name it, they made her do it. Not a drop of appreciation, just nagging, yelling, more nagging. It was a tough gig, but Cinderella, bless her heart, never faltered. She always had this light in her eyes, this dream of something better. Then one day, boom! News about a royal ball spread like wildfire through the town. The prince, a strapping young man, sharp as a tack and handsome to boot, was looking for a bride. Every eligible maiden in the kingdom was invited. It was like The Bachelor, only royal, no TV cameras, no commercial breaks. Cinderella, bless her hopeful heart, wanted to go, but her cruel stepfamily laughed in her face, and they went to great lengths to keep her at home. Poor kid. It was like watching someone get whacked in one of those mob movies, you know what I'm saying? Just wasn't fair. But then, like a scene from one of my movies, a plot twist. An old beggar woman shows up, turns out she's a fairy godmother in disguise. I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. She hooks Cinderella up with a gorgeous dress, a pair of glass slippers. Personally, I prefer leather, but who am I to judge? And a classy pumpkin-turned carriage. But of course, there's a catch. The magic's gonna wear off at the stroke of midnight. These fairy godmothers, they always got some sort of fine print. So Cinderella shows up at the ball looking like $1,000,000. The prince spots her the moment she steps in, like she's the only dame in the room. They dance the night away. They're in their own little world, see? But the clock starts ticking. Cinderella panics and rushes out of the ball, leaving a glass slipper behind. I mean, come on, Cinderella, at least keep your shoes on. But, I guess when you're under a fairy godmother's spell, practical thinking ain't exactly high on the list. Then comes the morning after, and the prince, this poor lovesick kid, he's got nothing but a glass slipper and a memory of a dance, but that's enough for him. I gotta admire his gumption. He declares he's gonna find this mystery girl, come hell or high water. He's gonna search the entire kingdom, have every maiden try on the slipper. The works! Meanwhile, Cinderella, she's back to the grind. Same old, but she can't help it. She's got a bit of a twinkle in her eye now. She's danced with the prince, had a taste of the good life. It ain't easy to forget that. So the prince and his entourage finally make their way to Cinderella's house. The stepmother and the stepsisters, they're practically tripping over themselves to try on the slipper. But of course, it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It ain't gonna happen. They've got their hopes up high, but we all know it ain't their shoe. Then comes Cinderella's turn. The stepmother tries to laugh it off, dismiss it as a joke, but the prince, he's not having it. He insists. And wouldn't you know it, the shoe fits. Fits like it was made for her. Which, well, it kinda was. There's a gasp, a moment of stunned silence. Then the fairy godmother shows up again just in time to give Cinderella another makeover. And just like that, Cinderella goes from cinders to a princess. The prince recognizes her. There are smiles, tears, the whole 9 yards. And the wicked stepmother and stepsisters, they're eating crow. The wicked stepmother and stepsisters, their jaws hit the floor. If I could have taken a picture right then and there, oh, it would have been priceless. But that's not the end of it. No, we're just getting started. You see, the prince, he recognizes Cinderella. Not just the dolled-up, ball-gown-wearing Cinderella, but the true Cinderella. The woman he danced with, the woman he fell for, cinders and all. And you gotta love this prince. He doesn't miss a beat. He drops down to one knee, right there, right then, asks Cinderella to be his bride. And Cinderella, she's got tears in her eyes, a smile wider than the Grand Canyon, and she says yes, says it like she's been waiting her whole life to say it. So they get hitched, these two lovebirds. It's a grand affair, the kind you'd expect from a prince and a princess. A real rags to riches story, eh? And our Cinderella, she goes from cleaning up after her wicked stepfamily to living in a palace ruling a kingdom. But here's the thing, kid, and listen close. This ain't just a story about finding Prince Charming. No, it's about the endurance of the human spirit. Cinderella, she could have given up, could have resigned herself to her fate, but she didn't. She dreamed, she hoped, and she kept that flame alive. That's the real magic right there. Even the prince, he didn't just sit back and wait for his bride to come to him. He went out there, searched high and low, didn't rest until he found her. That's perseverance, that's dedication. So you see, Cinderella's story ain't just a fairy tale, it's a lesson. It's about fighting for your dreams, about not letting anyone or anything stand in your way. It's about resilience, hope, and the power of love. That's all we have for today's episode of Fairy Tales with Uncle Al. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the show and subscribe to our channel for more unique Pacino-style fairy tales. Until next time, this is Uncle Al signing off. Keep dreaming, keep hoping, and remember, the world's your stage. Break a leg, folks.